How's it going, everybody? Beaverworx Diecast Racing again, and we're going to walk through a wheel swap with another crazy M2. Of course, nobody ever wants to see these things damaged too much, so I'm going to leave it as is. I'm going to try and keep it so the door's still open, the window's still open, but I'm going to swap those wheels out that never work with these guys. It's a set off of some matchboxies, and they got the chrome, and they're pretty fast. And we're going to lube these and polish them and do all the race tricks and put them into this guy. I've done M2s before, and it takes a little bit of work, but they're actually pretty easy to do. You don't have to drill them. They've already got screw. You just take the screw out, drop the chassis out, but these wells are going to have to get opened up, so there's some Dremel work, and this is an all steel base, so we got to do some drilling and some digging, and then I'll polish the inside of the wheel wells as well. But we're going to try our best not to do anything to the outside of it, or any of the plastic bumpers or anything else like that too, eh? Because this thing is just too awesome. Alright, they'll just usually just pop right off like that. It's a metal base. Even the fitter piece on there at the bottom is metal as well. It's impressive. Alright, let's cut some tube. Figure out how much we're going to need here. I guess we can just use this thing here. And now sometimes I'm going to have to go in there with the file bit on the Dremel and open that up a little bit, which is not a big deal, but we can do that. I'm going to grab a Sharpie and mark this off. Alright, that's where we're going to cut. Alright folks, there we go. Took the liberty to chop those two pieces of tubing out, all right size. What I'll do after I cut these things open, or cut these things out, right, you should take yourself a needle and just clean out those holes. Get it on in there. Make sure it goes all the way through. And then you just take it around the end. Just kind of ream it open there a little bit. That'll come in handy later. It's all nice and clean. Just to clean up the holes. It claps on you after you drill one out. Alright, speaking of Dremel, you get the cheap little sets, and they got little burr bits like this. Some I've used, so I've already got the point on it. With little suckers like these ones, eh? This one right here of the set is pretty much the same size as the brass tube, right? Using the brass tube just a touch bigger, but that's not a problem. That's what we'll use to open that little slot up just a little bit, so the tube will drop inside there. And just for fun, I'm going to start doing this one while the this plate cup piece is still on there, just in case I don't actually have to remove it. And then I'll take the tapered one in first, get it up to the wide spot on the shaft, and then I'll move in with this guy and try and level it out as best I can straight across. Straight across like that, right? Taper guy first. And the cylinder. Run it through. That should be enough. You'll squeeze this axle sleeve in. Gonna have to work that one just a little bit more. Now we're moving on to the axles. I like these ones, got lots of chrome on them. It's hard to find the middle. A lot of times you gotta trim these guys up anyways. And when you're going into tubes, you're pretty much okay. Hold on to the ends because these things will fly all over the place when you cut them. Alright, see how close I was in the middle. Pretty good. Alright. Now so we get these guys to slide in. Nope, not that way. And by the looks of it, we are going to have to trim. Well, maybe not. Maybe it'll go in raw. Let's see here. This is why it's good to even sand down the end of the post, or like it says, ream it with the pin a little bit, just so that you can open that thing up a little bit and make it a little easier for that axle to start off going in. And boop, there it is. Yeah. Little works that are going to shortening up the axle here. I'm going to work on shortening the axle, which means I'm going to have to close the distance in there, right? Remove some material from the leaf, probably take the leaf springs out, both sides. It's only on this piece here. And then I'll take a little bit off the axle tube and everything slide into place after that. And that should be enough to fit me inside of these guys. That's a pretty thin wall right there. And that's going to take, there's not a whole bunch of material to move there to give me some space. We'll remove a little bit. Meanwhile, it'll be off the axle here and off the edges here. Nope. Got some work. Look at how good that looks. That's what we're talking about. Not too shabby, eh? We've still got to get that all glued in, but now it rolls free. Right, after we did all the routing inside there, hollowed it out. Still left the engine bay relatively good. Alright. To work on that rear axle now. They're going to fit. Look at that, is so perfect. Rear end, rear wheels. Looks pretty cool. Nothing's glued in, that's just fitted, but they are clear and it rolls clean. Oh yeah. Now we're just going to set those axles just where they are. Alright, here we get to the point where we got to glue the axles. Some people use JB Weld, but I'm impatient, it takes too damn long. And with M2s it's something a little bit different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the back rear axle in first. Now, the tube's already there because we've got the screw there. Excuse me. Because we got the screw there, that's already holding the axle pretty much where it needs to be, which is insanely cool. So we're just going to leave that as is. And what we got to do is I don't glue the axle tube. I mean the axles themselves here. I don't want to get any glue until that's actually inside the tube. So what I'll do is I'll just take a little dab epoxy, get it on this needle, and I'll pass that needle into the hole. Get it in there. Both sides. All right, let's let that sit for 15 minutes, and then pull it together, pull it out, see how it did. All right, there you go. Just line it up in the jig, let it sit for another 15 minutes or so. Then we should be able to mount the body.